Afternoon folks, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another little video and welcome to a rather drizzly bank holiday Monday here in the UK. I'm just out for a couple of hours, actually maybe less, on the mountain bike, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to introduce you to the Bryton Rider S810 cycling computer GPS and do a little bit of a real world test. So I'm just going to share my phone screen with you if it's still working in the rain. Just click screen record. And I've planned this little route, this little demo route in Commute this morning. So I'm going to go into the Bryton app and get into my routes. And essentially all my Commute routes should be here. Let's just try that again. Here we go. S810 rainy demo, that's the one I've planned. And I'm just going to send that. I've turned the Bryton S810 on. I'm just going to download it to my device. Make sure the device is connected. I need to turn Bluetooth on. Bear with me. It is a real world test. Let's try that again. Download to device. And should be sending it now. Yada yada yada, get on with it please. Now ordinarily I'd do this at home before I leave, but again I just want to show you the rider out in its elements, I suppose. So that should be done. Route sent. The route has been sent to device successfully. You can find the route placed in My Route on your rider device. I'll show you that now and then we'll get going. Okay, hope you can see the screen. It's we're getting a lot of rain here, but what I'm doing now is going into the courses bit here, so it's hard to film this and look at the screen at the same time. Choosing the route, and what I should see is my S810 rainy demo route, so I'll just click that and that's loaded up. Hit the play and navigate to the start point. Now I know where the starting point is. I've just plotted it for a few hundred yards down the road, so that's fine, and we'll get going. So it's gone onto the map screen by default, and I can just change to the climb screen or change to my stat screen, and I'll talk to you about the screen setup and what you get, etc. Once we get underway. So I hope you can see the screen here. I don't usually tilt the camera down this much for obvious reasons when I'm filming, but I've just got the main kind of dashboard up here, and you can probably see it's recognised a little bit of an incline, so as I always do, filming starting to go up a big hill, but you get a great sort of speedometer, digital display at the top. It's all configurable, but I've got speed, average speed, distance, time of day, gradient, altitude gain and temperature. So I forget the screen that I've chosen from the app, but you can just scroll through probably a dozen or more different screen configurations and just find the one that you're happy with. And like all these GPSs, you can pretty much display loads of different stats, or just kind of 2 or 3 that are most important to you, usual kind of stuff. And just testing it with gloves, just scrolling to the map screen, and then whoops, the climb screen. I mean, that's not bad, pretty much gloved up and in the rain. Just scroll back. Yeah, pretty good touchscreen, I have to say, and I certainly wouldn't be able to do that with these gloves with my phone. So yeah, thumbs up on the touchscreen. Big direction arrows pop up for your turns, and you can probably hear the audio beeping as well. So really idiot proof navigation. So as I've been riding just now, I've been scrolling the screens and it's still working pretty well, even though I'm off-road and got wet hands, wet screen. You can probably see there, it's quite easy to change pages, or you can use the button at the side. So there I'm on my main screen, got the maps, I'll show you those in a second, and then onto the climb screen. This is really nice, so it's got the that feature where it senses you're about to start a climb, and then it brings up the climb profile. You can toggle that in the app, so you can make it a bit less sensitive so that it doesn't recognise moderate climbs. It just recognises the real serious stuff, and that's quite a nice little feature to configure the device. And let's go onto the maps for a second. Need to zoom in quite a lot, so just zooming in here, get my breadcrumbs, and it's a right turn. Yeah, it uses OpenStreetMaps, and finished climbing. Lovely. I don't know if you'll see this, but I've got the option to, which is really nice, just scroll much further on in the ride and take a look at kind of turnings, etc. I really do like that. I can recenter, I can zoom out, all on the touchscreen. And that is a rough descent. Whew. So you get the usual stuff in the box. You obviously get the unit itself, charging lead, instructions in like 1 billion different languages. You don't get the front mount, but you do get a mount. So you get this handlebar mount, which is functional. It's pretty good, and you might have seen me use this on a couple of my other bikes and rides. So it's just like the mounting, what you call it, disc, and then a plastic, not plastic, a black rubber band, and there's some different sizes and some spares depending on the size of your bars, I guess. It's okay, but I found the sort of handlebar mount is a bit too close to me, for my liking, so I quite prefer that sort of the more forward position there. And yeah, I've also got in my pocket, if I can just get them out, I've got some of my older, well, my very first GPS unit, which was the Element Bolt version 1, and I've got the newer one that I bought last year as well. So you can probably see a little bit bigger in terms of the Element Bolt version 2. You got colour, a little bit like a sort of a washed out faded colour, but quite a nice touch on the upgrade, and a slightly bigger screen size as well. But comparing that to the Bryton, which is, it almost feels like you would want to compare the Bryton to some of the bigger Garmin's, etc. But in terms of price, these are about the same price. I think at the moment, at the time of recording, so April 2025, this is about £260 to £280. I think I got that last year for £264, if I'm not mistaken, so pretty comparable in terms of price, but obviously a much bigger size there. Again, a really nice clear screen. They both have actually pretty good screens. That's a little bit difficult if you struggle with smaller text, which is something that I mentioned when I did the original review last year, and that's really not a problem you get with the Bryton S810. It is a big screen, and I've got quite a lot of data on that screen, as you can see. I could put less on and make the text even bigger, so yeah, it's really nice. Obviously that's got touchscreen, you can scroll around the maps where you can't with the Element Bolt. You can just zoom in and zoom out, and that's got some extra data like temperature, which I've got configured to show on the screen, and you can see it's a whopping 10 degrees this afternoon. So I've been using this Bryton Rider S810 for a good few weeks now, mainly on my commutes, one or two other sort of social rides, I suppose. And it's been really bomb-proof. The nav's been faultless. I've been able to, you know, get my routes onto the device and get my rides off the device back onto Strava or whatever really easily, and I've had no issues whatsoever with that. One of the, I suppose, couple of really minor grumbles that I might have about the unit was related to the initial setup. So getting the app sorted out and pairing the device and doing the screen configuration and stuff, as I've probably said in the video already, was really straightforward. Clearly can't talk and do a gate at the same time. Let's try that again. Oh. Yeah, as I was saying, sorry about that. One of the things that wasn't quite straightforward is getting my pre-planned rides onto the app. So I've got quite a lot of stuff that I've planned on commutes, just historic rides and, you know, future rides that I want to go on. And it took forever to sync that up. It was actually quite frustrating. Probably took an hour for the first couple of rides to appear, and they were like rides I'd planned years ago. And then, you know, every 10 minutes maybe one more ride would appear. It was really frustrating. I sort of went away and made a cup of coffee, and then when I came back they were all there. So I don't know whether I just got a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a hiccup, but I think my comment there would be, don't expect to take it out of the box and, you know, get a pre-planned ride onto the device and be on your bike within half an hour. That may not happen, and you might just need to exercise a little bit of patience that first time. They're all there now, and now when I'm planning a ride on commute and I go back into the app, it's there within a few seconds, so it's clearly sort of sorted itself out. The other thing that is a bit weird is, well, it's understandable that when you're inside or you're near tall buildings, it sometimes struggles to link up to the satellites. But what I find a little bit annoying is that it tells you that, it beeps at you and sort of reminds you that that's the case every 5 seconds or so. And I could probably turn that off, but I find that a little bit annoying. So when I'm inside and I've got the device on, I don't need to be constantly reminded that you can't find the satellites. I'm not bothered about that. When you go outdoors and you just stay in one place for a few seconds, in my experience it syncs up fine, and away you go, sort of thing. But I mean, other than that, I'm struggling to fault this Rider S810, and as I've probably already said in a couple of the clips so far, it's a real luxury for me to have a device this big and a device with a touchscreen. So yeah, thank you so much to Bryton for sending me the unit, and they've actually also sent me the smaller version, the Rider 510. So if there's any interest in the future, I might do a side-by-side comparison of the two Brytons. That isn't touchscreen. It's obviously a smaller size, but I think many of the same features are in it. So yeah, it'd be maybe quite interesting to have a look at both of the units together. Yeah, if you're after a kind of no-nonsense, idiot-proof, touchscreen, large screen GPS that's really competitively priced against the competition, then give this one a look, and yeah, you might be pleasantly surprised at just how good it is. I can't comment on the sensors and all that sort of stuff, because that's just not something I'm interested in with the GPS computers that I have. But yeah, it just remains to say, as the sun breaks through, thanks so much for watching this little video, this riding review, and stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and happy cycling. I'll see you out on the roads or the trails for the next ride very soon.